In this video, we're going to quickly go over each of the operational abilities of our 3D printer before it failed during the calibration XYZ. So we'll first show that the X-axis motor is working and that the sensor is reading the correct position for the X-axis. And then we'll go ahead and do that for the Y-axis and Z-axis as well. We're then going to show that the Z calibration worked, and lastly, we will show the extrusion of plastic out of the nozzle to show that that works as well. At the end of the video, I'm going to talk about a few ideas we have as to why it's not working and talk about how there could be a potential fix for that in the future. And then you're going to go to the Y-axis. And you don't have to move it the whole way, but just move it. Calibration.
One eternity later.
Okay, now that you have seen that our printer works, we're going to talk about why we think this is happening. So, because the X, Y, and Z axis motors work and also are able to read position accurately, we know that it's not a problem with the wiring, and it's also not a problem with any of the motors. So that was a good sign. One thing that we had noticed is that in the Berkeley rep design of the Prusa printer, the sensor is moved to the right on the x-axis um, by about an inch compared to the original Prusa design. And you can actually see this as the sensor tries to align with zero. It doesn't actually align with the hole that is on the 3D printer plate. And so what this basically means is that when it shifts all the way to the right on the x-axis, it goes off of the um, it goes off of the plate. Another problem that we were having is that after calibrating, the z-axis was not updating its zero position. And so sometimes the z-axis would go negative, which would push the nozzle into the board, and we would have to stop that. And we would have to manually readjust the z-axis zero, even though we had just calibrated it initially. All of these problems point that the issue is at the sensor and not on any of the motors or the firmware. I don't think that the firmware was updated properly to register the difference in the sensor. We were able to uh, get the calibration XYZ further along by placing a piece of paper underneath the uh, sensor when it would go all the way off the board. And so we basically trick it that it was still on the board, and that would allow the calibration XYZ to continue. And our plan was if that worked, we were just going to print something in the direct center. But it kept failing regardless of our efforts. But this is what we've learned, and we hope that it's helpful for future designs of this printer.